Most people walk through life without ever realizing that within them lies a power far greater than anything they've ever imagined. They get up, they go to work, they come home, they repeat the cycle, and they believe this is all life has to offer. They look at successful people, leaders, visionaries, and they think, they must be born different. They must have something I don't. But the truth is, every single one of us carries within us a hidden power, a reservoir of strength, creativity, and resilience that most never bother to explore. The tragedy isn't that we lack this power. The tragedy is that we are blind to it. Think about how often you've underestimated yourself. How many times have you backed away from an opportunity because you thought, I can't do that? How many moments in your life have you allowed doubt, fear, or insecurity to dictate your choices? Every time that happens, you bury that hidden power deeper and deeper, until eventually, you forget it's even there. We are so used to living in limitation that we forget what it feels like to live in abundance. We are so conditioned to follow routines, to meet expectations, to fit into the boxes that society has drawn for us, that we never pause to ask ourselves, what am I truly capable of? It's not that the power isn't present. It's that we've been trained not to see it. From childhood, we hear voices that shape us. Don't dream too big. Play it safe. Stay in your lane. And slowly, we start to believe that the extraordinary belongs to other people, not us. But deep down, there are moments when you felt a flicker of something greater. Maybe it was when you pushed through a challenge you thought would break you. Maybe it was when you surprised yourself with courage you didn't know you had. Maybe it was when you felt an urge, a whisper inside that told you that you were made for more. That was not imagination. That was your hidden power trying to speak to you. The saddest reality is that most people will go their entire lives ignoring that voice. They will never open the door to their inner strength. They will never discover that they are capable of building, creating, leading, and inspiring in ways that go far beyond their current reality. And it's not because they're weak or incapable. It's because they never dared to look within. They never gave themselves permission to believe that they already had the power. But let me tell you something powerful: you are not ordinary. You may have lived an ordinary life, but inside of you, there is an extraordinary potential waiting to be awakened. Life has already planted in you the seeds of greatness. You don't need anyone to hand it to you. You don't need the world to confirm it. You just need to recognize that it's there. When you begin to understand that what limits you most is not your lack of ability, but your lack of awareness, everything begins to shift. The doors that once felt closed start to open. The mountains that seemed too high begin to shrink. And the life that once felt small suddenly expands with possibilities. Your hidden power has always been there. The question is, will you finally recognize it? Every person is born with incredible potential, yet most never experience it, because of the walls built around their minds. These walls are not physical. They are made of fear, doubt, and the weight of other people's opinions. From the moment we begin to grow, we start absorbing voices that shape what we believe about ourselves. When someone tells you that you are not good enough, that you will fail, or that you should stay small, those words don't just disappear. They plant themselves in your mind, and over time, they grow into barriers that stand between you and your hidden power. Think about the times you have had a dream, an idea, or a vision for your life, and the very first thought that came to your mind was, what if I fail? That single thought is enough to paralyze most people. The fear of failure becomes stronger than the desire to succeed. And instead of taking the risk, instead of moving forward, we choose the safety of staying exactly where we are. But safety is an illusion. The real danger is not in failing. The real danger is in never trying. The hidden power inside you cannot come alive in comfort zones. It only awakens when you dare to step into the unknown. Then there's doubt. Doubt whispers that you don't have what it takes, that you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not strong enough. And the more you listen to it, the more it becomes your reality. Doubt is not the absence of power, it is the blindness to it. You have everything you need inside you, but doubt convinces you that it belongs to someone else. It makes you look at others and say, they can do it, but I can't. Yet the truth is, the very thing you admire in others is already alive in you. The only difference is that they acted, and you hesitated. And let's not forget the weight of other people's opinions. How many times have you stopped yourself from doing something because you were worried about what others would say? You wanted to step out, you wanted to try, you wanted to build something new, but the thought of judgment held you back. What will they think? What will they say? But ask yourself this when your life is at its end: will their opinions matter? Will their doubts and judgments carry any value in your story? Or will you regret letting their voices drown out your own? These barriers are not real chains, yet they hold people more tightly than iron ever could. They lock away the very strength and greatness that is already within you. But the moment you begin to see fear as a signal to act, doubt as a challenge to prove wrong, and opinions as meaningless noise, the walls start to crumble. And behind those walls, waiting for you, is the hidden power you were meant to live with all along. The truth is, nothing outside of you has the power to stop you. The only real enemy is the belief that you are not enough. Break that belief, and your hidden power will break free. There is something powerful that happens when you begin to shift your perspective on life. Most people go through their days with their eyes open but their vision closed. They see what is in front of them, but they do not truly see what lies within them. They are so consumed with problems, setbacks, and struggles that they forget there is another side to the story. And that side is the hidden power waiting to be unlocked. The way you see your challenges determines whether they will crush you or create you. If you see every difficulty as proof that you are weak, then you will live weak. But if you choose to see every challenge as training, as preparation, as a sharpening tool, then even your darkest nights will work in your favor. Think about it. Every single person who has achieved greatness, every story of triumph, every life that has impacted millions, they all share one thing in common: they went through hardship. But instead of letting hardship define them, they used it to refine them. They asked a different question. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" they asked, "What is this teaching me? What strength is being built in me right now?" That one shift in perspective makes all the difference. Because life will not stop throwing storms at you, but the way you choose to see those storms will decide if they drown you or push you forward. Perspective is not about ignoring reality. It's about shaping the meaning of reality. Two people can face the same obstacle. One sees it as the end, the other sees it as the beginning. One walks away defeated, the other rises stronger. The obstacle did not change, the mindset did. And when your mindset changes, your power begins to rise. So many times, the hidden power inside us remains buried because we are focused on the wrong things. We focus on the pain instead of the purpose. We focus on the setback instead of the setup. We focus on what we lost instead of what we are about to gain. But when you make that conscious decision to shift your perspective, everything inside you begins to move differently. You start to walk with resilience. You start to breathe with hope. You start to live with strength. It is not easy, and it will not happen overnight. But every time you choose to see with clarity instead of despair, every time you choose to believe there is a reason beyond the pain, you awaken that hidden power a little more. It's like striking a match in the dark. At first, it's just a spark. But if you keep protecting it, feeding it, and refusing to let it die out, that spark becomes a flame. And that flame becomes a fire that lights your entire path. What you see in life will always shape what you receive from life. If you see yourself as a victim, you will live defeated. If you see yourself as capable, strong, and destined for more, you will rise. It all begins with the lens through which you look at yourself and the world around you. Your hidden power is not lost. It is simply waiting for you to see differently, to believe differently, to rise differently. And when you shift your perspective, you will discover that the strength you've been searching for has been within you all along. There is a truth many people overlook: the environment you place yourself in has the power to either awaken your potential or suffocate it. You can have all the talent in the world, all the ideas, all the drive, but if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, doubt, and voices that tell you it's impossible, then your hidden power will remain locked away. The soil matters just as much as the seed. A seed has everything inside it to grow into a strong tree, but if it's buried in poisoned ground, it will never rise. Your mind, your heart, your energy, they all function in the same way. Look closely at the people you spend most of your time with. Do they lift you higher, or do they drag you lower? Do they feed your dreams, or do they drain them? Sometimes the very reason people never unlock their hidden power is because they are too afraid to step away from those who keep them small. They fear loneliness, but they forget that solitude can be a place of growth, while toxic company can be a slow death. Energy is contagious. If you walk into a room filled with fear, you will feel fear. If you walk into a room filled with vision, you will feel vision. That's why it is crucial to create an environment that reflects the strength you want to grow. It doesn't mean cutting everyone off. It means being intentional with what and who you allow around you. It means guarding your mind from the constant noise of negativity. It means filling your ears with words that inspire, your eyes with things that motivate, and your surroundings with reminders of who you're becoming, not who you were. Think about your daily environment. Is it cluttered with distractions that rob your focus, or is it designed in a way that fuels your progress? Even small shifts can make a massive difference. A quiet corner for reflection, a journal that captures your growth, a playlist that stirs your soul, or simply a space free from constant chaos. These are not luxuries, they are necessities when you are trying to unlock the best within you. And let's not forget the environment within. Because the external is only one part. If your internal environment is filled with doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs, then no matter how positive the people around you are, you will still be held back. That inner environment must be cultivated with discipline. You must speak life into yourself, remind yourself of your worth, and consistently choose thoughts that empower instead of weaken. You must learn to silence the voice that says you can't, and replace it with the one that insists you can. When you bring together both, the external and the internal, you create a force that becomes unstoppable. A mind fueled by positive thoughts, a heart surrounded by supportive voices, and a spirit anchored in purpose. That combination is like placing a seed in fertile soil with abundant sunlight and water. Growth becomes inevitable. Never underestimate the power of your environment. It can either choke your hidden strength or nurture it, until it bursts forth in ways you never imagined. So choose wisely, guard carefully, and build intentionally. Because the moment you take control of your environment, you take control of your growth. And once you take control of your growth, your hidden power will no longer remain hidden. One of the most overlooked truths about unlocking your hidden power is consistency. We live in a world where people want results instantly. They want breakthroughs overnight. They want their lives to transform without putting in the steady, persistent effort that real change requires. But the reality is, your hidden strength doesn't come alive in a single day. It comes alive through daily choices, through repetition, through discipline. Think of a sculptor chiseling away at a block of stone. At first, it looks like nothing is happening. Strike after strike, the stone looks the same. But eventually, the form begins to reveal itself. That's how your power works. It is revealed through the small, consistent actions you take, even when it feels like nothing is changing. The danger many fall into is mistaking lack of speed for lack of progress. They think, if I don't see results today, maybe it's not working. So they quit. They stop just before the breakthrough, and that's why so many people never discover how powerful they really are. But those who keep going, those who understand that every step forward counts, those who show up even on the days they feel weak, they are the ones who eventually see their hidden strength rise. Consistency builds trust within yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you're training your mind and your spirit to believe in your own power. Wake up early for your goals one more day, and you've added another brick to your foundation. Push yourself to complete that workout, that project, that assignment, even when you don't feel like it, and you've added another layer to your strength. Over time, these small victories accumulate, and they transform you into someone unshakable. It's not about being perfect. Nobody is perfect. You will stumble, you will fall, you will make mistakes. But consistency doesn't mean never failing. It means refusing to stay down. It means getting back up each time you're knocked down, each time you're tired, each time you're tempted to give in. It's about showing up again and again and again. That relentless persistence is what pulls the hidden power out of you. Think of water wearing down a rock. Not because of its strength in a single strike, but because of its persistence over time. Drop after drop, flow after flow, the rock eventually yields. Your hidden power works the same way. Every drop of effort, every ounce of persistence. Every day you show up is reshaping your life, even when you can't see it immediately. The question is, will you stay the course long enough to see the results? Will you continue walking when it feels slow, when it feels heavy, when it feels endless? Because that's the test. Your hidden power is not revealed to those who want it easy. It's revealed to those who refuse to quit. So if you want to unlock the strength that's been buried within you, learn to honor consistency. Respect the process, even when it's boring. Stay disciplined, even when no one is watching. Keep moving, even when the progress seems invisible. Because one day, without warning, you'll look back and realize that all those small steps created a giant leap. And in that moment, you'll know, you finally unlocked your hidden power. Your hidden power is not something that lies outside of you waiting to be handed over by someone else. It has always been within you, waiting to be claimed. And one of the greatest ways to awaken it is by aligning your purpose with service. Too often, people think that true strength is about building a life only for themselves, chasing success, chasing recognition, chasing comfort. But what they miss is that real power, the kind that shakes the world and transforms lives, comes alive when what you do isn't just about you, but about the impact you make on others. When you wake up every morning with a vision that stretches beyond your own needs, you start to access a force that is deeper than ambition. Ambition is about you. Purpose is about something bigger than you. And when you live with purpose, your hidden power starts to flow in ways you never imagined. Because suddenly, your challenges don't just feel like burdens, they become fuel. The setbacks don't just discourage you, they teach you. Every struggle becomes a stepping stone, because you're no longer just surviving for yourself, you're moving for something greater. Think about the people in history who left their mark. They weren't the ones who lived only for themselves. They were the ones who found meaning in service. They tapped into a strength that wasn't dependent on applause, wasn't dependent on rewards, wasn't dependent on convenience. They unlocked a power that came from the simple yet profound decision to live for more than themselves. And that's available to you too. Ask yourself who benefits when you rise, whose life gets better when you unlock what's been hidden inside you. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your community. Maybe it's people you haven't even met yet. Because your strength, once awakened, doesn't just stay with you, it flows outward. It inspires, it uplifts, it transforms. That's why your hidden power is never selfish. It was never meant to be locked up for your own gain. It was always meant to be shared. And here's the paradox: the more you give it away, the more it grows. The more you pour into others, the more you're filled. The more you lift others, the higher you rise. That's how it works. You think you're helping them, but in reality, you're awakening something inside yourself that could have never come alive if you only lived for you. There will be moments when you feel empty, when you wonder if it's worth it, when giving feels harder than taking. But remember this: every act of service, every step taken for a cause bigger than yourself, sharpens your inner power. It reminds you that you were not created to live small, self-contained, limited lives. You were created to expand, to overflow, to impact. So if you're searching for that hidden strength, stop looking in the mirror for how it benefits only you. Look outward. See the people who need your light, your courage, your resilience. Let their needs pull out of you the energy, the drive, the power you didn't even know you had. And when you live like that, your hidden power will no longer be hidden. It will be undeniable. Because the truth is, the greatest version of you doesn't appear when you serve yourself. It appears when you serve others. That is where your real power has always been. And when you finally step into that, you'll realize it was never lost. It was never far away. It was waiting for you to live for something bigger than you.